Oh, hi. You're here.
Oh.
Sit right down and tune right in. It's Dulcimerica
With bingfutch.
It is all about the cabbage. We are together, unified as the cabbage. Welcome everybody indeed to Dulcimerica. My name is bingfutch. Thank you for joining me and spending some time with me and the mountain dulcimer. Today's a very historic day. I hate to make things super timely with this series because I like them to be focused on just the music in the moment. But I just walked out onto my front lawn and watched the SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket take off above Florida, and it's just, wow, just a mind-blowing to live in the 21st century. So it's a very global event, and when I think of the Earth and I see this Tesla circling around the Earth, I don't know, I just started thinking about cabbage. It's a big cabbage out in space, and the unofficial national anthem of the mountain dulcimer, for some reason, is Bile Dem Cabbage Down. But also, for some reason, we only play half of the tune, most of us, and a lot of people don't play the entire thing, like I did right there. So if you were wondering what that whole B section was about, today I'm going to teach you. But before I do that, I'd like to give a big shout out to one of my patrons on Patreon, Dominic Kazub. I hope I did not totally kill your name, but Dominic, thank you so very much for pledging and for becoming one of my patrons. It is very awesome that you're here with me doing this, and all the patrons. And every single day I wake up and I think in the morning, what can I do for you guys? And I hope that you've been just looking at your email box full of stuff and appreciating the music, the video, and everything that comes with it. Dominic, thank you very much, and I hope you're enjoying everything, including what's about to go down right now with Bile Dem Cabbage. For those of you not familiar with Patreon, it's a subscription service, and with my Patreon you get all of my music, books, CDs, full-length videos, concerts, special programming, all for $5 a month. And you get all the new stuff I'm working on right now as well. That means every new demo, every new video, every new piece of music, every piece of paper that comes out of my printer goes right up on my feed, and you guys can enjoy seeing the creative process and things that come along with it. So if you'd like to sample a bit of Patreon, just go to this address right here. That's patreon.com/bingfutch. Go to the featured tag section, take a look at Open House, and download to your heart's content all that you find there, and then consider maybe coming along and joining our community, because my patrons have helped produce records, they help produce Dulcimerica, they help with audio upgrades, computer software things, and all of the cloud-based services that we use to keep all of our data all situated. All of that really is helped out by the patrons every single day. So if you contribute $5 a month, you are contributing in a very large way to help keep my art flowing so I can continue to make stuff and go places and make things happen and teach people. That's the most important part for me, is in taking that gift of music and empowering people to go and play and then teach themselves. So thanks for checking it out, and again, Dominic, thank you very much. So about this Bile Dem Cabbage thing, many of us, it is the first song that we learn how to play on the mountain dulcimer. I'm not sure where that memo came from, but it's an easy song, it's a fun song, and I'd like to walk you through it because sometimes in the rigors of teaching, it gets taught a little strangely. So I just want to hammer things out and maybe give you some tips here that you can also use as well. Let's start off with the A section, and we'll start off with the lyrics of the tune, because lyrics are tied to melody. And what we're doing if we're not singing this tune is we're just simply playing the melody. We want to make sure that we give one strum per melody note, and those melody notes coupled with the lyrics are: Bile dem cabbage down, boys, turn them hoe cakes around. The only song that I can sing is Bile dem cabbage down, boys. So notice that the boys at the end, that's important. And also notice that one little note, the only thing, oh, the only song. A lot of people don't put the A note in there as it comes back down again. And I'm a stickler for that stuff, if I know it's there. If I don't know it's there, then I got nothing. So, coming from here, 2nd fret, playing against the open drone. Bile dem cabbage. Now we're going to go to a 0, 1, 3 G major chord. Down, boys. That's 2 half notes there. Each one gets 2 beats. We come back to our 0, 0, 2. Turn them hoe cakes. Then we go to a 101 A major chord. Round. Here's I bring the thumb up to the A, 4th fret, to get the, but I leave my index finger on the E on the bass string so that we keep the essence of our 101 A chord, because we don't want to change that chord until the next downbeat. The, and here's that downbeat. Now going back to 0, 0, 2. Only thing that, back to 0, 1, 3, G, I can sing is, back to 0, 0, 2, Bile dem 101 A, cabbage, open strum, down, boys. So I'll go ahead and play it again, and if you have your dulcimer with you, which I hope you do, go ahead and play along with me. Nice and slow, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bile dem cabbage down, boys, turn them hoe cakes around. The only song that I can sing is Bile dem cabbage down, boys. What exactly is a hoe cake? A hoe cake is kind of like a cross between cornbread and a pancake. And hoe cakes were cooked out in the field when you didn't have time to go to the lunchroom when you were out working in the fields. So they basically built a fire, had a fire going, used the hose that they were using out in the field, and would take this mixture, this batter, and they would actually heat the hoe over the flames and then pour the batter on the hoe and cook these things and eat them in the field. Fast food to be sure, and I've never actually had one, but there are places around in Florida that still show you how to make proper hoe cake. That's kind of cool. That's where that song ends for a lot of people. It just stops right there, but there's a lot more. Now, there isn't any more in the way of lyrics, but there is a B section, and the B section goes like this. It's a cute little piece. It's a cute little part of a piece. And let's walk through it. Open, we're going to go 4th fret to 5th fret, A to B, and then down to 2. We'll do that twice. Okay, now we'll do that again, but we're going to end up in a 101 A chord. There's our 101 A chord. Go back to our little 4 to 5 action here. Now get yourself into position at the bar 3 here. Hit that. With the thumb, come up 4 and 5. Hit that 5 again. Then take your fingers off the other strings, come down to 4, open on the melody string 101, thumb to 2, open strum, and strum again. Here we go again. Two, three, four. And make sure that other half note chord comes in there. Now there are a lot of different versions of this tune, and that B section varies from region to region and interpretation to interpretation. That's the version I learned. I've heard a couple of other different versions, but that's sort of the basic idea of the B part. Let's go ahead and play the B part, and we'll take it nice and slow and play along if you've got your instrument. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, three, four. All right. As you work with this song more and more, you'll find that you'll want to use certain fingers in order to make sure that you can keep those fingers down on the fretboard as long as possible. So for example, when I went to the G, you'll notice as I work the melody string, I've been using my thumb and then using my middle finger to come down here to the 2. Then at some point I change that because I know I'm going to be going to this bar 3. So I'm going to use my ring finger instead at the 2nd fret, because that allows me then to get a finger over on the bass string, and I can start the process of getting that bar for the 3 and then get into my G major chord. I'm not worried as much about trying to be smooth here because it's a fiddle tune. So there's going to be a lot of rhythm and fill in and stuff like that. So I'm not worried so much about taking my fingers off the strings. I'm not being as careful as I normally am. But it is important still to get in the practice of using fingers that will allow you to make a clean and smooth transition to other chord shapes without having to take your finger off of that string. Again, not as important with a fiddle tune. Sometimes it is, but this one, I think you can get away with it. Let's go ahead and play the A part and the B part together. Twice through the A part and twice through the B part. This is Bile Dem Cabbage Down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Bile dem cabbage down, boys. Turn them hoe cakes round. The only song that I can sing is Bile dem cabbage down. B part. Repeat. Two, three, and. All right, now one more thing I want to add before we go, and that is selective strumming. That's a way of keeping the melody alive and intact without chopping it up with all kinds of additional strumming. A lot of people are taught that, and they're taught just to use like a bum ditty strum and play that all the way through the song using that same strum. And what ends up happening is we lose the definition of the melody and one strum per melody note, which goes along with one strum per syllable of the lyrics that come along with that melody. So instead of Bile Dem Cabbage Down, boys. We end up with Bile Dem Cabbage Down. Let me tell you something, turn them whole cakes around. Ain't this really something down? You know, it's a lot of extra stuff and it just steamrolls right over the melody. So how do you preserve the melody while still putting in those additional bits of strumming? And the answer is selective strumming. Use only the middle string and the bass string and avoid the melody string. Do this. Melody string, or middle string rather, middle string and bass string. Get your pick in there and play those two and avoid the melody string. And then come over here on the 6th fret on the melody string. There's a big C natural there. It's going to stick out like a sore thumb when I strum it, just like this. What I've done is I've come all the way across the strings this time, and I've brought that melody string into play. So it'll only sound when I reach across and get it, like now. And. But notice I've got my rhythm that continues to go over here, and it's not hitting that melody string, which means I can keep a nice rhythm going, but preserve the melody and the lyrics of Bile Dem Cabbage Down like this. I'll do that again. So those fill-in rhythms are still happening there, but I'm not chopping up the melody. And what I'm doing is I'm playing both sides of the fretboard. I'm playing the melody side when the melody is there, and when it's not in motion, when it's not doing what it needs to be doing, then I'm working the other side, and you get little things like this. Little counterpoint. Answer back. This is pretty constant, this little section right here, and then go. This is also pretty constant. Right here it slows down and stops, and we can keep this little rhythm going. Not a lot of room to breathe in the section. And you can continue to take that a step further and do a lot of things with it, add in some embellishments, some slides, some palm muting, other things. So you can truly make it your own song just by getting around it a few times, isolating the melody from the rhythm when it needs to be done, and then dressing it up the way you would like to dress it up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sharing a few moments here with me. I also want to remind you, I'm looking for more intros to this program. All you have to do is shoot me off of your phone a 7 or 8 second video with your dulcimer saying welcome to Dulcimerica and send it to bingfutch@yahoo.com. And we'll put you right there on the very opening of the program. Thanks again, everybody. Until next time, this is Bing Futch with his head out in outer space saying, play on, baby, play on.